For you guys. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be going over a 2021 Chevy Camaro SS convertible. But first and foremost, a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry H. Miller Chevy here in Murray for providing us with the Camaro. Check out their inventory in the link below. Let's just get straight into the video. Under the hood of the SS, we have a naturally aspirated 6.2 liter V8 that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 16 around town and then 26 on the highway, with power outputs being 455 horsepower and then 455 pound-feet of torque. Now let's go over the front end of the SS. So first off, you guys notice the little venting there on the top of the hood. Obviously makes it look just a little bit more aggressive. Definitely love that little touch right there. And then coming down below, you can see you've got the new lights. These lights have been a little bit controversial. They come out pretty far, but it definitely looks a lot better in person than it does in videos or pictures, I will say. They are full LED lights, and you can see the little LED accent light just down there below that's kind of flickering with the frame rate of the camera. Got the SS logo, so you know it's the bad boy with the big V8. I love how everything's blacked out, including the Chevy logo right there. But other than that, that is a look at the front end with the top on. Here is the 2SS with the top down, and here's the aesthetic look of it. Definitely looks a whole lot cooler with the top down. If you guys are wondering, what you have to do is first press the unlock button, and then you have to hold down the top down button the entire time. If you release at any point, then it'll stop the function. So make sure you hold that top down button the entire time on the key fob, and then, well, you can put the top down without even being inside the car. Now coming around the side here, we've got two 45mm tires and 20-inch wheels in the front, and then the rear is 275mm, then the wheels are also 20-inch, and then they've gone for a blacked out design on the wheels with this, which contrasts very nicely to the white paint that this particular SS Camaro has. Got the traditional Camaro badge right there on the side, and other than that, let's just take a step back so you can appreciate the side view with the top down. Now coming here into the trunk, the Camaro, the trunk was never massive, but now with this convertible top, you can see it really eats up in the cargo space. You see this right here that kind of divides it up. So yeah, from like a trunk practicality space, you could fit like some small luggage back here, but not a whole lot. Now let's go over the rear design of the Camaro. So yes, even though it's convertible, you still get the cool little spoiler here with the SS on the back. Still get the blacked out emblem. And then I really do like the new taillights. Just like the white lighting behind, how it looks, it just looks really good even when the lights are off. And then you got the dual exhaust tips here at the bottom, parking sensors all across the back. But again, with the top down, it actually doesn't look too bad here from the rear perspective. And let's roll a quick exhaust clip before we get the full-blown exhaust clip later in the video. This is great that this is a convertible because it makes filming the rear seats of the Camaro really easy, and you could fit people back here because you got unlimited headroom. The headroom goes all the way up to the... Anyways, so finishing things here in the back, this is where the wireless phone charger is. This particular one has like the white with black seats, so you've got white on the interior of the seat and then you got black all around. Still get the red seat belt, which is pretty cool. And then notice that this is kind of like all plastic in this area. They don't really expect people to use the back seats all that often, but they still look cool. Coming here to the front, first off with the door panel, you actually have really nice material here at the top. You've got the leather with the stitching, and then continue like the white leather down here, and then you've got black, so it's a contrast between the black and the white. You've got your regular window controls, mirror adjustments, all that, memory seat controls, and then you can see you got the Camaro logo right there. And then here's the seats at the front. Again, you've got the black, you got the SS logo with the white inserts there in the center, and then you've got the black all down the side with a little red seat belt right there. And then over here you can see you've got the adjustments for the seats. Here's what the pedals look like. There's a little hood latch release just next to it. And then this is actually for the heads up display to control all of that. But there's one more look before we pop in. So here's a quick look at the steering wheel in the Camaro. So you can see you've got kind of like more perforated leather here on the side, smoother leather at the top and at the bottom. You got the little SS logo. These are the controls for the center stack. You got like your volume controls to the radio. You see paddle shifters in the back to shift the gears yourself, heated steering wheel control, and then your cruise control as well. But overall, really nice steering wheel in terms of the size and then the feel of it as well. Now here in the center gauge cluster, you guys can see that you've got the old school kind of look for the RPMs and the speed, and then you got kind of like more of a modern gauge cluster there in the center that shows different bits of information like the fuel economy, for example, with it. And you can see you can scroll through a couple different menus, so you can see like the performance, audio, navigation, phone options, all that kind of stuff. Pretty straightforward system, pretty easy to use. Now here is the center infotainment system, and sorry about the massive reflection in it. It's just yeah. Anyways, with this screen, you guys know I really like it. Response time on it is really solid. You get Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, and if we pop it into reverse, the backup camera on it is actually pretty good. Again, even though there's like a massive reflection because of the time of day, you can still see it pretty well, which is pretty impressive because the resolution is super solid. And that is all for the infotainment system, and sorry for the reflection again. Down below the infotainment system, you can see you've got some controls that are like the home screen button, volume button, all that kind of stuff. And then yes, ventilated and heated seats for the front. These are the vents. This is to raise or lower the temperatures. You actually control it with the vent itself. I absolutely love that on the Camaros. It is a dual zone climate in this particular one. And then this is the shifter for the 10-speed automatic transmission. You can manually shift the gears yourself if you'd like with this 10-speed. Got the stability control over here, and then you got your parking brake, and then this is for the drive modes. These will actually pop up here in the center. See right now it's in sport mode. You've got the touring, sport, track, snow, ice. And in terms of the modes, what they do, they actually open or close the valves on the exhaust. So the valves will be open on the sport mode and the track mode, and you'll hear a bit more of a rumble with that. Beyond that, you can see we've got the little center console right here, and then you've got the two cup holders, and then they actually do some nice like soft touch with stitching here on that part of the dash. Got the glove box. The rest of the dash they do kind of like in the plastic finish, but that is all for that part of the interior. Now I've got two things up here. So first off, this does have the camera mirror. Again, sorry about the horrible glare, but it does have the camera mirror system, and this is where you're going to pop the top back on. So again, you have to hold the button down the entire time, and you can see the top is starting to come back over. And actually, when the top pops on, we probably won't have that horrible glare. And then it'll actually show you right here, it says top not secured. And then once it's all done, right there it says folding top complete. And then here's a better look at that camera. So really good, especially in the Camaro. You guys know the visibility isn't the best in this car, so this will help out a massive amount. I mean, no, like look how small that window is. Here's a better look. Oh, you can't see, look, I even missed the window. Look how small that window is. So like way better. One feature I almost missed in today's review is this is for the front windows. So you press that and that'll lower down the front windows, and then this says rear, and then that'll lower down the little rear windows. So you have like separate buttons for it that you press to do the windows. Sorry about almost missing that, but I didn't. Here's the window sticker again, 2021 Camaro 2 SS convertible. Feel free to freeze the frame in any part of the window sticker so you can go over all the options. And then you can see the base MSRP. Now this one has the MagnaRide suspension added to it, which actually helps out with the ride quality a bunch. I know about a bunch of people that have the ZL1s that have that, and they absolutely love it. And then you can see all of the rest of the optional equipment. Total MSRP, $55,460. Let's take this SS convertible out and see how it drives. Let's quickly talk about visibility before we set off here in the SS convertible. So you can see visibility over the hood. It's actually not terribly bad. The front definitely is a shorter windshield. So I'm about 5'11", if you guys don't know. I imagine if you're probably closer to like 6'2 plus, you would struggle a bit in this car. And then here's the visibility through both of the mirrors and then all throughout the rear. So again, not the greatest, but remember that mirror helps out a lot, and it also does have blind spot monitoring, so like it helps out a lot with the safety tech. As you can see, we are setting off here in the SS convertible, and first and foremost, let's talk about the road noise and the ride quality, especially with that MagnaRide suspension. And in terms of the ride quality, very smooth. If you guys remember, I had a ZL1 1LE, and that car like completely different than this, obviously. Wasn't a convertible, but like that road's so much rougher. This definitely a whole lot smoother from a ride quality perspective. And then in terms of the road noise, even with the top up, it is louder than what I remember with my ZL1. So definitely quite a bit of noise that comes through the cabin. It's not bad by any means, but you definitely do hear a lot, and I imagine it's mostly because of the convertible top kind of letting in a whole lot more noise. And since this Honda pulled out in front of us, we get to kind of test the brakes. Yeah, the brakes are really good, and just from like a stopping power perspective, I feel like this actually could stop pretty quickly, which is definitely neat. And we'll kind of see how the turning radius and everything is on this car with that Magna Ride. Ooh yeah, the steering wheel is nice and stiff. I love it when the steering wheel definitely has like a heavier, stiffer feel, because then from the turning perspective, it makes you feel like you're a little bit more engaged with the car. But yeah, even with the top, I don't really notice that you're losing too much from a handling perspective compared to a regular SS. I'm getting a couple downshifts here, and then we're gonna get our little acceleration here with the SS. I know I didn't go like majorly on the throttle, but biggest reason, there's a truck in front of us. But more than that, obviously I don't want to be too hard on a brand new car that obviously someone's going to end up purchasing. But the shifts are really quick. I remember from the 10-speed that my ZL1 1LE had, that these feel just as quick as that from a shifting perspective. And in terms of the acceleration, it feels like it's a good amount of power actually. So even though I didn't get on it like fully on throttle, this feels like just the right amount of power. So like the ZL1 is way more power than what you need on road. Like it's still controllable and everything, but it's way more power than you actually need. Whereas this SS, it's a little bit more balanced with the power, so you can actually go through the gears, you can actually use the power as well. And we'll take advantage of this person stopping and trying to take a turn here. And here now, what do they say? Today, Junior. Take advantage of this to get a little bit of a better acceleration for you guys. Yeah, so I mean, it's more than enough from a power perspective. Like, I do not feel like I need any more power. And again, I can actually go through the gears. Like with my ZL1, I remember just punching it and boom, you're up to 60 miles an hour before you can even bat an eye, or I should say blink an eye. I cannot talk sometimes, guys. Whereas with this, you can actually use more of the power. It feels more controllable. It's definitely not like fishtaily all over the place. So it's definitely more of a driver's car, I would say, from a power perspective. And that'll get me into summing things up with this Camaro SS convertible. So if you're looking for, again, a fun convertible car that has a decent amount of power, but it's not like crazy overwhelming, and you really just want something that you could actually drive on a daily basis as long as there's sun and shine, right? Then this would be a really good car. It's got a lot of the modern amenities, and again, with that camera system, with the blind spot monitoring, that gets around the fact that the Camaro has horrible visibility. And so just as like an all-around car, this is a really good package. And I actually like the convertible top. I love the fact that you can take the top off with the key fob. I think that's a really neat little feature. And so again, as an overall package, I definitely think this car is really solid as an option, and I would check one out. That is going to sum things up on our video with the 2021 Camaro SS convertible. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry H. Miller Chevy here in Murray for providing us with this SS. Check out the inventory in the link below. I will see all of you in the next video.